Alright folks, Nathan Neidhart here with Walnut Ridge Big Bucks. A little bit behind on the video, had drill this weekend, so apologize. But I'm here with Dustin Garrison, Final Step Taxidermy. Dustin, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
I have my own personal Facebook page. You can check out a lot of my work on there. I have posted a lot of pictures of my finished products and testimonials from customers and people, commenting on it, of course. They can also reach me by my phone, which my phone number is 785-220-3578, or my website, or my email, sorry, is kansassongdog@icloud.com. I can answer emails or text or calls, either one. They can also reach me through the Santa Fe Trail Meats Locker Plant in Overbrook. I work there full-time. I call this a part-time job, but it's actually full-time also, with my volume that I take in. But they can contact me through there. And with that, if they get a deer and are not sure what to do with that animal, they're more than welcome to contact me, bring it to the locker plant. I'm affiliated with a lot of other processors that I work with, and we can kind of guide you in what direction you need to go from there as far as getting it skinned or field dressed. Preferably when you go to field dress your deer out in the field, if you do it there, as a taxidermist, we take and we want the most amount of hide we can get. That way, if you pick out a mount that is a hard turn or a pedestal mount where it takes a little more of that back skin on the back of the deer, you don't cut it too short. Another thing, when you go to cape one, if you decide to cape it yourself, if you're out on a mountain hunt or somewhere where you don't have a processor right away and you need to get the skin off the animal to get quartered up and in coolers, you want to make sure that on the front legs you stay on the outside of the leg. There's actually a line there that you can follow of the brown and white hair. Just stay right along that line and take it all the way on the outside of the shoulder. Do not cut in towards the inner armpit, but stay on the outside of the shoulder and go all the way to the sternum bone. Where the sternum bone starts, where your ribs come together, you want to stop right there when you're field dressing the deer. You can reach up in that cavity, pull the lungs and the heart and the organs out of it. But as a taxidermist, we like to have as much hide as possible. And then just take it as far down the neck as possible. Depending on what the situation is, try to take it down as far as possible. I prefer my skins to have the wide cut, or what they call a tube cut, versus split all the way down the back. Saves me a little sewing time in the end. And it's just easier to fit the form properly and measurements for that. As far as getting it into a cool environment, you want to do that as quickly as possible. Especially early season when it's hot out, warm out. You want to get it into a cooler environment quickly as possible. Do not take a hot deer hide, a warm deer hide, and roll that thing up and put it in a plastic bag and throw it in the freezer. It's the worst thing you can do. It will freeze on the outside and stay, warmer or unfrozen on the inside, which will cause slippage in the hair. And a lot of times, we don't know that until the tanning process starts, and then it's too late. Then I will have to contact you and let you know that happened. If you're out on a, say a mountain hunt or somewhere up in the, say you're up in the Yukon where you're not around a processor or somewhere to get your hide, I recommend researching on how to cape the animal out all the way off of the head and the face, to where you can turn the eyes and the lips and nose and that type of thing, and get the hide salted as quickly as possible. That salt will help lock in the hairs in that hide, and then once you take it to your taxidermist, whether it be me or another one, that taxidermist can go follow his steps from there. You can rehide the hide and start the canning process from there. Do not let it sit in the back of your truck for a couple, 2 or 3 days.
So don't be driving around showing your buddies.
No. Especially if it's warm out again. If it's cold out, it's a different story. You've got some time. and try not to introduce any water to that hide. The water, it causes the bacteria to start growing on that skin, which in turn will cause hair loss eventually. As far as turnaround times for my business here, I try to have, I've been able to have, with my volume, I've been able to have most of my deer done within 6 months. My earlier season, youth season deer, like Brock's deer that I took in from you guys, I'll have it done, here in a couple months. I'm caught up pretty much from last year. I've got a few stragglers of remounts that I'm doing right now. Guys that are bringing me stuff to remount for them. And but the early season deer are, a couple, 2 or 3 months. You get more into bow season than that later October, earlier November range, when they're around the pre-rut and the rut. You're looking at 4 to 5 months. You get into rifle season, depending on the year, how good we do throughout the year, could be up to 6 months, at times. So, but I try my hardest to get them done in a very timely manner.
Now, how long have you been doing taxidermy?
I started out in another master taxidermist shop, and actually learned from him, and I worked for him off and on for about 5 or 6 years, and then I decided to kind of do my own thing, and I've been in my own personal shop now. This deer season is my 5th season in my own personal shop. I primarily do deer. I don't necessarily like that because I love working on small mammals, your bobcats, your coyotes, your foxes, your coons, squirrels, skunks. I've done skunks, badgers. I've done a big variety of everything. And here recently, I've started taking in a lot of animals from guys that have went overseas and hunted. A lot of African stuff, some New Zealand stuff, and that's the stuff I really like, really enjoy doing. As far as deer mounts are concerned, I love doing them. I've been a deer hunter ever since I was old enough to walk. I was in my grandpa's back pocket, and been in wildlife my whole entire life. I shot my first deer when I was, I think, 11 years old, and I haven't stopped since. I've got my 2 boys and my daughter involved in it. I don't pressure it on them, but they enjoy doing it, and I'm hoping someday that maybe my boys or even my daughter will take into taxidermy and kind of help me out and go with it, and kind of make it more of a family business. But I've done, on average, my first year I started in my own personal shop. I took in 20 deer, got those finished. Guys came and picked them up, told me they were very happy with them. The next year, my business doubled. And every year since then, my business has doubled every year. And just word of mouth has been my best advertisement. I don't have a website. I take business cards around to some businesses and set those out. Guys contact me with questions. They come see my work, and they seem to like it, and they go ahead and use me. Being at the locker plant in Overbrook, I see a lot of out-of-state guys come through there so we can process their deer. And just for instance, last year, I had a guy brought in a deer from New York. He was from New York. He came here and hunted, and he wanted me to just skin the head off for him and prepare it for him to take back home. I'm fine with that. I'll do that for anybody. When he came to my shop here and looked at my work and asked me what my prices were and what my turnaround time and stuff was, and wanted to know if I knew what it would cost to ship it back home, and I did, and told him all that. And he says, Dustin, he says, you do great work. He says, I'm going to leave it here and have you do it. And shipped it home to him, and got tons of pictures back and very good, reports back from him. Another deer that I took in, same situation. The guy wanted me to skin it out, prepare it for him to take it back home with him. Was from Quebec, Canada. Came to Kansas and he looked at my work, same thing, asked me all the questions. He ended up leaving the deer here. He owns an outfitter in Quebec, Canada, so he's around a lot of taxidermists, a lot of this type of business, and and I felt very honored to get to do his animal. You know, he left it here and had me do it. Got it home, shipped it to him, got it home, and once again, he just, you know, just recommended me very well on how well I did on it. And so that it was a neat honor to get to do those types of things, you know. And for somebody to come out from out of state where they go back home, they've used the same taxidermist for 20 years, to get them to convert to me is quite an honor. So
now, Dustin, we brought Brock's 9 point to you, and having it mounted. We've been feeding our deer for about a year now with Big Bucks Plus protein feed. As a taxidermist, seeing all these deer, what can you say about Brock's deer that he shot this year?
When you contacted me about Brock's deer, I had no idea, what size he shot or anything. And when I got there, I looked at the body of the deer, and I'm very particular about aging deer and trying to, educate people on the age class of the deer that they're harvesting. And when I saw Brock's deer, I saw that, from body-wise, I thought it was a 1.5 years old, just from the body laying there. And once I went ahead and caped the deer out and realized I age my deer by the skull plate is how I do it. A lot of guys do the teeth, and I've been taught that aging by the skull plate, and it seems to work very well. We've cross-referenced, the teeth and the skull plate, and I've been pretty accurate. But at a 1.5-year-old deer in, northeast Kansas, I've hunted, like I said, since I was, 10, 11 years old, and at a 1.5-year-old deer, a lot of times they're button bucks or even just spikes. And Brock's deer had, an 8-point rack on it, and it was already starting to throw kickers. So in my opinion, some of that's genetics, but in my opinion, the feed that you're feeding those deer you're gonna see tremendous growth. You've only been in it a year. Within the next 2 to 3 years, you're gonna have giants running around. I keep an eye on your Facebook pictures, on your business page, and from looking at your deer on hoof, I see you have a lot of 2.5-year-old deer running around. They're already supporting 130-inch racks, and you just don't have that. We're Kansas, yes, we're known for big deer, but still, you don't have what you have without that feed, in my opinion. And the health that your deer, just the coats on them, the hides and everything are just so healthy. I can see a huge difference from my trail cam pictures of not running your feed versus you running your feed. You can put them side by side and just see, the difference in your deer, the body size and the healthiness of them. I think it's going to be. I'm very excited that I did go ahead and purchase the feeder from you, and I'm very excited to get my deer herd on that product because I think it's going to make a huge difference in the long run.
All right, Dustin, you have anything else for your business?
Not really. I appreciate you coming and doing this with me. I appreciate the business I get from you guys, and I'm excited to see your horn growth come within the next couple, 2 or 3 years. As a taxidermist and a hunter standpoint, both, we all strive to have bigger racks, of course, and a healthier deer, and you're definitely on the right track. I think you're doing a good thing.
All right, folks, you've heard it from Dustin Garrison. Like he said, he's been hunting for years, been doing taxidermy for years. It's a proven fact that this the Monster Buck Plus, Big Buck Plus, plus 20 protein feed works. It's growing big antlers, healthy deer. With this rut coming up, that feed is going to help get those deer re-energized for the next round of rut. It's going to help them get back healthy after running around and chasing. So with that, folks, Dustin does great work. He's done one of my mounts. He's doing my son's mount. He showed me a bunch. He does exotic stuff. He does local stuff. So give him a call. Final Step Taxidermy. You can holler at him at the Overbrook meat locker, where he mentioned his number. But I'm also going to tag him in this video. So if you guys see it, give him a shout, talk to him. And once again, Nathan Neidhart with Walnut Ridge Big Bucks. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Dustin.
Appreciate it. Thank you.